All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's video, guys. We're going to talk about the Atlanta Hawks and the New York Knicks preview. I would not sleep on, first off, I wouldn't sleep on either of these teams, but particularly, I do want to talk about the New York Knicks in today's video. I will post a preview video probably right after this, but when I look at this New York Knicks team, first off, they're 41-31. And thankfully for them, they have home field advantage. Personally, I really wanted to see a possible Brooklyn-New York second round matchup, but obviously first round, but second round would do just fine. Unfortunately, the Knicks are in, not unfortunate for Knicks fans, but maybe unfortunate for Brooklyn fans. The Knicks are in a solid spot, in my opinion, to advance the farthest they can go. I think that they could possibly make the conference championship. Now, will they do that? Who knows? Because I think Philly is going to take care of Washington in either. I think they might sweep them, but they might win in like 4 or 5. Might take them 5. So you got Philly next. Philly, I would just rather play Philly than Brooklyn, right? I think everybody could agree with that. I just would so much rather play Philly than Brooklyn. Philly, they have great talent, great coaching, but they don't have Kevin Durant. They don't have James Harden. They don't have Kyrie Irving. So personally, the Knicks, I think they're in the best possible spot. You've got a good matchup against the Atlanta Hawks. Now, the Atlanta Hawks are a good team. They are a very, 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 very good team. Now, 41-31, pretty solid. Extremely solid when you look at the New York Knicks last couple of years. But I want to talk about just their roster, because they have a very solid team. I mean, top to bottom, this is a team. First off, I would just be excited about them. If I'm a New York fan, I would be ecstatic. And all the New York Knicks fans that I know are absolutely hyped for whatever the future brings, because no matter what happens this season, they have a ton of young potential and they have a ton of cap. So RJ Barrett, he went 17 and he got off to a tough start, especially from 3-point. He got off to a tough start this season. He did great. He did great at the end. 17.5 points per game, about 6 rebounds. He's awesome, man. RJ Barrett was huge, but I think we all are fully aware of the best player on the New York Knicks and really what makes this matchup so difficult, and it really just any matchup so difficult. Now, him and Joel would be interesting to see. Kind of Taj and Joel would be interesting to see, but we'll talk about that if it arises. Julius Randle on the season, 24-6-10, 24-10-6, and he took a huge stride. He can shoot the 3, he can dribble and drive. He is so much more versatile now. In his 6th year, he's still super young. He's only 26 years old. This is who everybody on the New York Knicks, everybody in that organization, all the fans, all the coaching, all the GMs, I'm sure all of them want to fully build around Julius Randle. Now, we'll see what he can do against Atlanta, because personally, this dude is a menace. I think he is an absolute menace on his way to becoming a superstar. So we'll be able to tell a little bit more this season. Maybe the Knicks have a bad couple of games. Julius Randle takes over, wins the game for him. Who knows what happens in these playoffs? But I'm going to keep my eye out on Julius Randle. Another guy I'm going to keep my eye out on is Derrick Rose. It's not only because I'm from Chicago, but man, I haven't seen D Rose play in the playoffs in a minute. It's been so long. I don't know the last time D Rose was in the playoffs, what year that was, but man, it had to have been so long ago. Like, man, what year was that? 2016? I was either 2015, 2016, but D Rose on the season, a little under 15 points per game, about 4 assists. Now, at 32 years old, he's got plenty of gas in the tank, but it's just more what I am excited to see Derrick Rose is. It's just that veteran, it's that leadership. You've got a ton of young guys on this team, and having players like Taj Gibson, having players like Derrick Rose, And then you throw in that Derrick Rose, Taj Gibson, and I mean, obviously coached by Tom Thibodeau. That bond, it's got to just help the entire locker room, right? You've got a ton of young kids, and you've got Taj and D Rose. They're boys, they're veterans, they're teaching, they're helping everybody. And then you've got Tom Thibodeau, and that the bond those three have, I'm sure, is just amazing. I'm sure the New York Knicks locker room is so excited, not only for the playoffs, but for the future, for tonight's game. I'm sure they just cannot wait for everything in New York City, man. So that's who I'm going to be keeping an eye on. I'm just saying, I wouldn't sleep on the New York Knicks. I would not sleep on the New York Knicks. Now, let me know who you guys think is going to win this series or even win Game 1 tonight. Game 1 might be over by the time you guys watch this, but I would not be surprised if the New York Knicks take care of the Atlanta Hawks in 5-6 games with ease, man, with ease. I know the Hawks are good, but I think these Knicks are special, man.